Hello, peace be upon you, Islamic greetings, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ismail Abu Adam from the Converted to Islam YouTube channel, as well as the Ismail Abu Adam YouTube channel, and this is
Brother Abdulaziz from the Noof to Islam YouTube channel.
This video is a continuation of the series that I've been doing called The Concept of God in Islam versus the Concept of God in Christianity, a comparison of God's attributes as described in the Bible and the Quran. In the Bible, God is described with ugly features. The Old Testament says in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 22, verses 9 to 10, quote, "Smoke rose from his nostrils," meaning God's nostrils, "and a devouring fire from his mouth. He kindled coals into flame. He inclined the heavens and came down with dark clouds under his feet," end quote. Let's compare this description of God to what the Quran says. Can you read chapter 7, verse 180, Brother Abdulaziz?
Yeah, sure. "The most excellent names belong to God. Use them to call on Him, and keep away from those who abuse them. They will be requited for what they used to do."
Exactly. So as you see in the Quran here, it says God has the most excellent names. In other words, He's excellent in His characteristics, His names and attributes. But in the Bible, God is described with ugly features. Let's also hear from the Quran, chapter 59, verse 24, brother.
Yeah, sure. "He is God, the Creator, the Originator, the Shaper. The best names belong to Him. Everything in the heavens and the earth glorifies Him. He is the Almighty, the Wise."
Exactly. So God is almighty, He is wise, and He has the best names. So in both verses in the Quran here, you see God has the most excellent names and the best names. And what we mean by names is that God has names, but behind those names are meanings, and those meanings are His attributes and characteristics, His features. And all of His attributes are the best and most excellent, perfect, and unique and eternal. So, we leave it up to you. Do you want to worship a God that has ugly features, who has smoke coming out of His nostrils? Or do you want to worship a God who has perfect, divine, excellent attributes and the best names?
Exactly. What are you going to read to your child when you put them to sleep? Let's say they want to hear some stories. Are you going to read them from the Bible here, speaking about the fire and the smoke that's coming out of God's nostrils and the fire from His mouth and the black clouds under? He's going to have nightmares.
Exactly.
He's going to wake up screaming.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
And now you know another reason why me and Abdulaziz accepted Islam.
Bedtime stories.
Continuing on. Not only does the Bible describe God with ugly features, but it also says that at certain times God was not able to do certain things. For example, in the Old Testament again, Judges chapter 1 verse 19 says about God, quote, "Since the Lord was with Judah, He gained possession of the mountain region, yet He could not dislodge those who lived on the plain, because they had iron chariots," end quote. Now let's compare this description in the Bible to what the Quran says. Brother, chapter 3 in the Quran, verse 26, please.
Yeah, sure. "Say, God, holder of all control, you give control to whomever you will, and remove it from whoever you will. You elevate whoever you will, and humble whoever you will. All that is good lies in your hand. You have power over everything." Exactly.
So God in the Quran is described as having power over all things and full, total control of everything in His creation.
Exactly.
Also, what does the Quran say? Chapter 65, verse 2.
"Anyone who believes in God and the last day should heed this. God will find a way out for those who are mindful of Him, and will provide for them from an unexpected source. God will be enough for those who put their trust in Him. God achieves His purpose. God has a set due measure for everything."
Now, listen to this carefully. What He said in the Quran, God, when He has a purpose to achieve, He achieves it.
Right.
And if you put your trust in God and God is with you,
He will find you a way out.
He will find you a way out from means and ways that you could not even imagine.
Exactly.
So if God was with Judah, why was not Judah able to overcome the iron chariot?
Exactly.
The implication from the Bible here is that Judah was not able to win his battle because God wasn't able to overcome iron chariots.
And I mean,
Exactly.
this is
blasphemous.
Exactly.
So we leave it up to you, viewers. Do you want to worship a God who has ugly features, or the God with perfect and excellent features? Do you want to worship a God who is weak in some ways and not able to do certain things, or do you want to worship a God who is able to do all things? We believe that you will choose the God of the Quran, the perfect and all-powerful God.
Exactly. And let's just look at this simple example. If you take these verses, if you say to a brother, let's say a Christian brother, you say, brother, I have these verses from Scripture. I want you to read them and pick the best ones. And you give him one of these verses, or these two verses, and you give them the verses of the Quran that we just gave them, and you don't tell them they're from the Quran, and you don't say these are from the Bible. You just say, these are the verses from Scripture, brother. Check them and tell me the best ones. For sure, 100%, he's going to choose the verses from the Quran.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
No question. I mean, just look at these verses. If you're unbiased, for sure you're going to pick the verse from the Quran. They sound better to anyone.
Yes, that's a great point. Anybody in there, anybody who's been guided by God would definitely choose the Quran. This is what we believe.
Exactly. 100%.
And we thank Allah for guiding us out of darkness into light, into Islam. And we hope that we are not offending you, those of you who believe in the Old Testament and the Bible in general, whether you be Jewish or Christian. We're not trying to offend you. We're just trying to give you another way of looking at the Bible, another perspective, comparing the Quran and the Bible. And we ask God that He guide you to the truth about these matters. We're not making anything up. You can check the references Abdulaziz just read you. They're given to you and provided to you in this video. So we ask you, study, compare, and pray to God for the truth, and we believe that you will be guided to the truth, and we hope that you will become Muslim, but again, it's your choice.
Yeah.
And from Abdulaziz and from myself, we say, Salamu Alaikum. Until next time, thanks for watching.